Hello and welcome back to another session, another podcast. I have with me my husband, Kerry'd Clark.
Hello.
Hello. Y'all, he never says that little, but anyway, my husband, Kerry'd Clark. We are so excited to have you join us again for our podcast, When Ordinary is No Longer Enough. And today our focus is going to be on happiness. Kerry, you want to share a little bit about what they can expect in this upcoming podcast?
Yes, and we do a lot of recording, so sharing is what we do. And so this one's on happiness. It's a little interesting because people find happiness is one of those things that is really undefined. They use events or experiences to dictate whether they're going to be happy or not. In this episode, what we'll learn is that happiness is none of that. It really isn't. It's an internal thing. Of course, there are some external influences that can, I guess, make you think you're happy, but the actual happiness that one can experience is something that's internal.
That's a good point. So y'all stay tuned, follow this podcast, and we look forward to seeing you back at the end.
This focus for this moment is on a person's happiness. Happiness is an interesting attitude or just an interesting thing because generally most people allow their circumstances, their situations, their significant others, their family members, mom, dad, my brothers and sisters to impact their happiness. More importantly, if you're in the working class, you allow your boss, your companies, your workloads to impact your happiness. If you're not financially stable or secure, whatever that may mean to you, you allow what's in your bank accounts, what comes in the mail in the form of bills, and what phone calls you receive from bill collectors to impact your happiness. In fact, happiness is probably one of the things that's the least consistent in a normal person's life. And so I've written this content to help you overcome that thing which is normal, and that's a changing happiness meter. So look at it like this. If happiness can be altered, and I believe that it can, why is it that so many people allow outside influences to impact theirs? Ordinary people, the common person, is one who tries to change situations and people around them in order to create their happiness instead of simply being happy. I believe, and this is proven out to be the case, at least it is in my life, I can't speak for everyone else, but you can choose to be happy no matter what the circumstance, situation, or environment may dictate. My family, who's around me all the time, know that I don't believe in emergencies. And I know people want to argue with that. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if someone goes to the hospital? What if someone is injured? And the way I live and the attitude that I have, there is no such thing as an emergency. And that's simply because I am a person of faith. And I believe that God has me covered in situations that I'm uncovered. In other words, if something happens to someone in my family and even myself, I don't believe it's up to them on what happens. I believe, because of my faith, that my circumstances are going to shift because God has placed something around me called favor. And with that favor, I have decided that every day is going to be a great day. Every day is a happy day. There are no more disappointments. Even though there are things that happen, I choose not to look at them as disappointments. And you will hear this term with people who have mastered being happy all of their lives, is that they say those things that are disappointing are opportunities to find some extra joy, some extra energy, some extra benefits, some extra happiness. Happiness is not something that happens to you. It's what happens inside of you. It's an attitude, a choice that you make. Let's move on. What I call a person who has decided to live outside of common is one who has the ability to understand that change doesn't happen without. Change happens within. In fact, it happens within oneself. Change happens on the inside of you. When you want to be happy, all you need to do, this is interesting. I know people who can get in their car, play the right song, and a bad situation will turn into a good situation, will turn into happiness for them. I know people who have disappointing news. They get home, get to the refrigerator, and oh my God, they get something to eat and their life changes. What I'm simply saying is, circumstances can't change your attitude. We use certain things to trigger a change, but in fact, you can change it on your own. You can make happiness a state of being every single day in your life. If you wake up every morning and decide you want to be happy, look in the mirror, tell yourself, today, I'm happy. Today, I look for things that are going to benefit me, things that are going to make my life better. In fact, the old folks in the old church would say, if you get up and count your blessings, meaning if you think about things that will give you a grateful heart, have a grateful attitude, have a grateful mindset, your whole perspective about your day, your life, your circumstances, your situations, they will be altered. I recall an event when I took on an information systems management role in a company. My first day on the job, it was an early Monday morning. I'll never forget it. And I'm getting ready to work. I'm on fire. I'm a new employee. I'm ready to conquer the world. And the first person I run into is the person in the mail room, in the copy room. And I say to them, "Good morning." Their response was, "I'll be glad when it's Friday." That statement, that experience altered my life forever. I could not understand at that moment how on Monday someone was wishing to skip 5 days in order to get to Friday so they can get the heck, H-E-C-K, off this job. They've allowed the people, the job, everything around them to affect them in such a way that it sucked the energy, sucked the happiness, sucked the life right out of them. And that day, moving forward, I decided to never be like that person I met in the mailroom. In fact, I decided to impact that person in the mailroom, so every time they see me, I'll have a good attitude. Every time they saw me, I'll be thinking happy thoughts. I'll make them happy. I like to say it this way, and I pray this every morning with our daughter Tamia. And I say, when people come into our presence, they leave better off. They leave better, rejuvenated, with more energy. They're excited about life. They're ready to tackle the world. Here's a question for you. I'll leave you with this question. Let's just say I'll leave you with this question. What must I change about me to be happy? Again, what must I change about me, for me, within me, so that I can control being happy for myself? What can I do within me that doesn't allow outside influences to infect my happiness or to take my happiness from me? That's the question. I hope this lesson, this message, getting on the inside, because I understand what it means to be normal. Well, maybe I don't. People would disagree with that statement, so I take it back. If you met anybody who's ever known me all of my life, they would probably tell you I've never been normal. Maybe that's why I'm writing these messages. That's why I'm teaching these lessons, is because that's probably true. I've never been normal. I've never let situations impact me like normal people do. And so I'm here to tell you today, you don't have to let the situation, circumstances impact you the way they do. I thought I was finished with that question, but I really want to encourage you just a little bit that you can. In fact, after hearing this, I pray that you will at least give it a try to change something that's inside of you so that you can always have a happy disposition. You get to control your life, not the circumstances, not people around you. That's what you're made for. That's what you're built for. You were never made to be ordinary, average. just like everyone else. You were made to be unusual, uncommon, not like anyone else, above the rest, a person of excellence, a person who excels, first in your class, the head of the table. You were meant for something great. Greatness is all around you, and it starts with how you arise every day. Conquer your attitude so that every day you choose to be happy, even though the circumstances say you should be something else. What must I do to change us, me, you, so that we can be happy?
Hey, welcome back. We sure do hope you enjoyed that podcast on happiness. As we've talked about, happiness, y'all, radiates from within. So we certainly hope there were some key takeaways for you and that you'll share that with those that you know and even with those that you don't know. So certainly feel free to share. Kerry, any parting words that you want to share?
Well, just highlighting something that was mentioned in that podcast is sometimes we allow others to hijack our happiness experience, meaning we give someone else permission to make us happy. For example, if I give her control of my happiness, that means I'm no longer in control of my happiness. I always have to wait till she wants me to be happy, and vice versa. If she's looking for me to make her happy, well then I'm in control of her happiness. Therefore, she's a slave to me as far as happiness is concerned. And in this podcast, if you listen to it, maybe you want to listen to it again, just to make sure you're not letting someone else hijack your ability to be happy.
Well, again, y'all, we sure do appreciate you joining us here on our channel. You can find more information about us at KerryClark.com via our YouTube channel as well, right? So we look forward to seeing you here next time. Share our podcast. Share. And we appreciate all that you do.
Thank you for visiting us.
All right. We'll see you next time, y'all.
Anyway.
Welcome back. We sure hope you enjoyed that podcast that includes talking about